I wish by now, God, you would have reached down and wiped our tears away. Stepped in and saved the day.
Oh, it's not here.
But once again, I say amen, and it's still raining. And as the thunder rolls, I barely hear you whisper through the rain, I'm with you. And as your mercy falls, I raise my hands and praise the God who gives and takes away. And I'll praise you in this dark, and I will lift my hand, 'cause you are who you are, no matter where I am.
Welcome, people, names. So, I have it on some good authority, some pretty good authority, that Gabriel came out with something quite special yesterday with a duet with a lady called Natalie Grant. Now, I don't know who Natalie is, so I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I'm pretending I don't. So before I watch their duet, I actually wanted just to delve a bit into Natalie and just see a little bit about who. I think from what I'm seeing from the list of videos I can see on YouTube, that she's a gospel artist. I think, which then would make sense as to how her and Gabrielle maybe have come about. But yeah, this one's got the most amount of views. Well, for her on her own, there was one with her and the Tenors that had 7 point something million. But this is The Perfect Storm. Praise You in the Storm, it's called. And this has got 5.1 million. So, yes, let's find out what this is all about. Oh, does she play piano as well?
I wish by now, God, you would have reached down and wiped our tears away. Stepped in and saved the day.
Oh, it's not here.
But once again, I say amen, and it's still raining. And as the thunder rolls, I barely hear you whisper through the rain, I'm with you. And as your mercy falls, I raise my hands and praise the God who gives and takes away. And I'll praise you in this dark, and I will lift my hand, 'cause you are who you are, no matter where I am. And every tear I've cried, you hold in your hand, never left my side, though my heart is torn. I will praise you in this storm. I remember when I stumbled in the wind. You heard my cry, you raised me up again. My strength is almost gone. How can I carry on if I can't find you? But as the thunder rolls, I barely hear you whisper through the rain, I'm with you. And as your mercy falls, I raise my hands and praise the God who gives and takes away. heaven and earth. I lift my eyes unto the hills. Where does my help come from? My help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. And I'll praise you in this dark, and I will lift my hands, 'cause you are who you are. No matter where I am, and every tear I've cried, you hold in your hands. You've never left my side, though my heart is torn. I will praise you in this storm, yeah. And though my heart gets torn, I will praise you. I will praise you in the storm. I will praise you in the storm. Praise you in the storm. I will praise you in the storm.
Do you know, like, for a very, what I imagine to be quite a simple video, really, it was really beautiful. Like, I think I really like the imagery that they've used, the colours that they've used. It felt really cinematic. You know, like she's doing all these really lofty movements and the billowing of this pretty awesome beautiful gowns that she's got going on. I think the song itself, I think, was really cool. I guess the message is quite clear, isn't it? That a lot of people often turn to faith, and even when things are not great and things might be, you know, quite terrible, but you don't lose sight of your, you know, whatever faith it is that you have. So I think in that regard, it was quite nice to kind of see how that played out in terms of the actual visuals and what she was saying. Like, even in the midst, even when I'm torn, you know, like, I still praise you in that storm. You never left my side. So I think that kind of unwavering faith, I think, is something that it's just awesome to have. So I can see how that has kind of become this this project. But in terms of the actual, like, what's put together, I think it's really cool. I think her voice is. I couldn't. I was trying to place it, and I couldn't really place it, because there are certain parts of her phrasing which, and I hope it didn't seem defensive, because I don't mean it to be, but when I'm listening to, if I'm not looking at her and I'm listening to that, "Do the storm," like it kind of gives me like a really like young singer, like a young lady like singer. But obviously she's more mature than that. So I was like, the vocal. If I close my eyes, I don't know whether I would picture her necessarily, which is why I love things like The Voice, because you've got no idea who's that voice belongs to. Do you know what I mean? But throughout it, I was just like, wow, it's just incredible that your phrasing and your tonality at certain parts of the song, I wouldn't have placed with you necessarily. So that's really cool. Like, I like being, you know, I like being kind of shocked and not seeing things that are just BAU. I think that's quite cool. And she's got a lot of range, a lot of power. There were some elements of her voice I thought were quite ethereal as well, which I thought was quite cool. And again, just, yeah, that with the loftiness of the video and the wind blowing and the storm and the colours, and yeah, I thought they did that really, really well. And then when the rain came in as well and she's all wet with it, I thought the the concept of the video, they must have had a lot of fun doing this. I think like creatively, I think, you know, with the panels that they've got going on there, and the fact you can see like the same image on the flooring as well. Yeah, I thought it was just really cool, quite moving. Do you know what I mean? And I think designed to be exactly that, because if you're speaking about something that's so poignant to so many people, because I always think this, right? And particularly when my nan passed away, I remember being just like, I don't understand. Like, where is the Lord? Where is that? Because, you know, we're suffering. Like, she was suffering. Like, where is that then? Where is all the kindness and the taking that pain away? But I suppose for people that are kind of devout within their faith, to times like that, when times are really torn, and you are in that storm, you still feel that you are comforted and that you're on like a route, like a correct route and stuff. So yeah, definitely just an interesting perspective to, as someone that's not really in the church like that anymore. It's just really interesting to kind of hear that perspective and how that kind of manifests itself in terms of the product she's made. But I think in terms of the song itself, I thought it was really cool, and I think her voice was also really, really, really cool as well, like different to what I was expecting. And now I'm really keen to see how her voice sits with Gabrielle's, because there were some real power notes within what she was doing there. And I'm just now thinking about how that will sit with Gabrielle's also powerful notes and his riffs and runs and his lighter bits. And yeah, I'm really glad I watched this first. So yeah, I'd love to know what you guys thought of this. The video, the song, Natalie herself. Are there any other Natalie performances that you think maybe would be worthwhile watching if you are a fan? Yeah, so thank you for watching if you did enjoy this. If you did, then please do drop me a like and subscribe. That would be amazing. Thank you very, 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 very much. And again, I am doing this full time now, so if there's any generosity that's left in your tank, then please do come over to Patreon. I'd welcome you with open arms. You can connect with me more over there, and you get to access this stuff way before it comes to YouTube. So yeah, for now, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you on the next.